Hello, I'm Angela Anderson, and I'm really excited to share with you a horse jumping game. It's actually a learning game that I've created in this 3D Unity with this 3D Unity coding. So what you're going to do in this game is meet my friends Charlotte the rider, Inky the horse, and their super fan. Now, the purpose that I had for this project was twofold. I wanted to build an intervention for effective learning with quizzes, something that makes a learner focus on the problem and not always the answers. And because the beauty in learning is going through and understanding the problems, not what is the answer, because it could be interchangeable at any time. And then also starting to develop a family-centered learning environment. So let's get into the game. This is what you would see when you get started. Here's my intro screen that explains the actions, and then the whole premise behind, take the time to look at this question, write down what it is that you needed to know or do to be able to solve this question. Then hit the ready. So the first thing they have to do is actually get over a jump. Oh, that was really bad. And then they move on with the forward. So they're actually now answering the question. So this would be true or yes. And so we still didn't get over it. It's not going to tell us the answer yet. So we're going to get another chance to jump, and here we go. So now our choice was yes, and then it showed that yes, this is policy. Now what I also want to do next, and I haven't incorporated into this, is the super fan would be jumping up and down if I selected the correct answer. Now this is for accessibility, so that the learner doesn't have to just know colors to determine this. So if I go forth and I try to jump over the next one, and I actually make it, I said yes, but the answer was actually no. And on the next one, if I hit the down button twice, now it goes down. That's saying no, I'm not going to jump this jump, and that was the correct answer. So I earned some points. So some of the challenges that I had to work through with this is I had to really tighten up my code and use the state pattern. I had to determine the states that the different objects were in, because they were all intermingling. Even the answers, working through these, this had a state based on whether I had jumped over the jump and correctly answered it or not. Another thing was a state of the horse. So I had to put in code that determined that if the horse was in state 1, that was halt. So what all has to happen to have a halt state? All has to happen to have a move state? All of that. Another thing that I had to do was actually get the assets to work. I don't have any background using Blender and creating my own assets. So I took assets from the prior games, such as the horse, and I figured out how to take the farmer and put them on top of the horse, and got in and actually manipulated the joints in the farmer so that I could move the legs out to actually have the farmer ride the horse. What I'd love to be able to do is have more actions and actually have the rider go up and down, which we call posting, with the horse, and actually kick the horse to tell it to jump or to move. Those commands instead of directly with the buttons. So that's some of that. And then I also used a data object, which was cool to be able to pull in the data for the questions and be able to manage that and pull that forth. Some of the issues that I really always had problems with was getting everything to stay level, and understanding how to use the collision collider boxes, and making sure that I had all of those right, especially with the obstacles, and then being able to write the code to determine if the rider actually jumped over the jump, and matching that with the different states. So you should be seeing the accompanying code to this, but it was fun, and thanks y'all. Have a great one.